Start.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'll be speaking on personal protective equipment PPE. So that's a hot topic. What is PPE? PPE is any protective gear that we would utilize at our workplace usually to protect us against any physical harm or infection or whatever. So today we will be talking about PP in context of our hospital and what we need as healthcare workers. So what are the areas that we need to protect? Obviously the head, the eyes, the nose and the mouth, your body, your hands and your feet. So based on these different areas, we have different options. For head, we have a cap, which may be disposable single use, or it may be a reusable linen cap also, surgeon's caps. Then for eyes, we have goggles and face shields. Goggles should be nice, clear, plastic, which do not scratch, which fit nicely properly on your eyes, which may also fit over your prescription glasses. Okay. And of course, they should be cleanable and reusable. Same with respect to face shields. It should nicely cover your face such that you are protected against any aerosols. For nose and mouth, obviously we have masks. So you may have a 3-ply regular medical mask, or you may have these respirators, which are classified as N series, that is N92, N95, N72, N99. So this N series is classified by the American respective bodies. Then there is the FFP classification. That has been elaborated by the European Union. Then we have KN classification by the Chinese. Then you will have Japanese and New Zealand, Australia, and all sorts of different classifications. More or less, there are only usually 3 categories around N72, N95, and N99. I mean, that is 95, 99, and all is the percentage of filtration of a particular micron. So usually it is more or less they are equivalent. Then for our body protection of the entire body, we have a disposable gown. Okay, the disposable gown may be in the form of a gown or a coverall. Coverall is something that is a shirt and a pant in one, and you just have to go into it and zip it up. And it may or may not be without a hood. And a gown is a gown. Then these may be reusable. Usually these are usually disposable, but the linen gowns that we use in OT are the ones that are reusable. But that is also a kind of a protection. For gloves and for hands, we have gloves that is, they may be of surgical grade quality that we use in the OT, and they may also be medical examination gloves that are used in the OPD. Then for feet, you have disposable shoe covers. Usually these kind of covers we get with our SIDA PP kit and all that. And or else even boots or a Crocs kind of a footwear without any pores, which may protect your feet um, from all sorts of contaminants. So those are the different protective measure equipment that we can use. Now, how do we utilize this equipment? So that is, how do we wear it? So that is called donning. How do you remove it? It's called doffing. So while donning as well as doffing, you need to have a buddy system. We need to have an observer who will guide the person as to how to wear and remove it. It has to be done in a particular sequence. Every time that you don and doff, you have to have this checklist which is on the screen in front of you, and you have to follow the checklist. The Your buddy or your observer has to be about 5 feet away from you, and they will guide you one by one. While donning, there's no major issue. So before you start donning, you have to ensure that all jewelry, your phone, and your watch, everything has been kept aside, and you've had water, and you are prepared for a long haul of being donned in your PP. And before that, you also lay out all the components of your PPE and ensure that everything is in order, everything is fine, there's no defect. Wear your glasses, clean your glasses, wear your mask, the usual mask that you wear at your workplace. For men, ensure that you're clean shaved. This helps in proper fitting of your mask and give you proper coverage so that you don't get exposed to contaminants. Then coming to the exact sequence, first and foremost, while donning, clean or wash your hands or sanitize your hands. After that, inspect the PPE. After that, first thing, wear your shoe cover. You can sit down and wear your shoe cover if a chair is available around. Then perform hand rub. Then again, wear your first pair of surgical gloves. Then you wear your gown. It may be a gown or a coverall, whatever it is. If it's a coverall, you'll have to zip it yourself. If it's a gown, your observer, your buddy will help you tie it up. Then after that, you wear a 3-ply surgical medical mask over your existing mask that you've already been wearing. Wear your goggles or your face shield, and then place your hood, and then you are ready. Lastly, you wear your outer gloves and you are ready. So this has to be followed. Coming to doffing, again, your observer, this is a much more critical step. Your observer has to be 5 feet away from you, but should be able to guide you properly. First and foremost, do not touch any outer aspect of your PP. Firstly, sanitize your hands, then inspect everything, your PP is proper and there is no major spill or tear or anything. Then unzip, if it's a coverall, unzip it, and then you have to remove it in the order that the outer side folds inside. And then you remove it and then you place it in a yellow bin. If it's a gown, your buddy will help you remove it, and same concept again, that the outer aspect of the gown or your coverall has to fold inside. Okay, and after that, remove your shoe covers, then your outer glove. Okay, then again use hand rub, remove your goggles, remove your face shield if present, remove your outer surgical mask, keep your inner existing mask intact yet, and then after that, after you have done all these things, you will have to remove your inner glove, and lastly sanitize your hands, and then when you reach home, you can remove your inner mask also. So we'll show you a nice video for both these techniques. It is very lucid, self-explanatory, with and you have to follow it in that manner. So coming to use of mask that we've all been provided. So firstly, what you need to do is you must have been given two masks at least. So please write your name on the inner aspect of the mask. The inner side is the one which has the stitches. So write your name, label it as 1 and the second one as 2. You can use the mask 1 on an odd date, mask 2 on an even date. So that way it will ensure that you alternate your mask and that you get time and opportunity to wash and disinfect your mask thoroughly and use it. And you may not end up by mistake using the same mask again and again. So while wearing the mask, ensure the outer aspect of the mask, the pleats should be facing downwards. The inner aspect is the side where the threading stitching is seen. Ensure that the mask fits you properly. It should neither be very tight nor should it be very loose. In case it is loose, you can make loops and knots of the ear bands such that it fits you properly. If it is tight, you can cut the ear band, add an extra thread or something that can increase the length of the ear band enough so as to give you an adequate fit, such that if it is loose, it may slip down. If it is tight, your ears may ache and you may have marks over your face, and it will be quite uncomfortable. So ensure that the mask fits you properly. For disinfection, our mask can be washed up to 30 times. So you can either use cold or warm water. You have to do it in 2 steps. Step 1 is just cleaning it with normal washing soap. Don't scrub it, just rinse it in that. After that, step 2, you need to soak it in Dettol for about 20 minutes. So how much Dettol do you need? You roughly need 8 to 10 ml of Dettol. So you take one regular tumbler, fill it with water, pour 8 to 10 ml of Dettol in it, and soak your mask in it for 20 minutes. So 8 to 10 ml is what? If you take a half a liter Dettol bottle, the cap is roughly 15 ml. So if you take half a cap full of Dettol, that will give you 8 to 10 ml. Otherwise, you also get measuring caps along with cough syrup or other such items. You can measure from that also and pour it and use it. And ensure after you've soaked it in Dettol, you rinse the mask properly, because you may not like the Dettol smell odor that it may give later on. And so dry it nicely. Of course, do not iron the mask. So this is a nice video about how to disinfect the mask that we've all been provided. Look at it carefully and follow accordingly. also shows us very nicely how to handle these masks. Do not touch the outer aspect of the mask. Always handle the mask with your ear bands. And when you remove it, fold it outside in. Okay, so you don't contaminate your hands also. Coming to face shields and goggles, yes, they can also be disinfected at the end of your shift. When you plan to disinfect it, first, of course, you'll be having gloves. You can wipe the for the face shield, the plastic screen. You can wipe it with alcohol soap, where 70% alcohol soap, cotton swab, or you can also take that fine cloth that is available with the optical stores. So with that, you clean it nicely in one smooth uh, motion so that you don't create scratches and marks on the visor. Clean it inside as well as outside. Clean the rest of the aspect of the face shield. You can do the same with your goggles also. Handle both these items carefully. If you've been given your own personal goggles as or face shields, then at the end of your working hours, please clean it and store it properly. If it is a common item within your department or you're at your station, then ensure that after you have used it, you disinfect and keep it so the next person, whoever has to use it, gets a nice fresh item. That way, lastly, after you've done the cleaning, you remove your gloves and you discard them. If these masks or these sorry, these face shields or these goggles have been given to you for your individual use, you can also write your names on it so as to ensure that they do not get exchanged with someone else. Okay. Then at the end of your working hours, you'll have to discard all the PP that you've been using. So if you've been using gloves, gloves will go in red. But the rest of the PP, whatever that needs to be discarded, in case you've been wearing disposable cap, disposable mask, disposable coveralls, all these things go into yellow. Your shoe covers will also go into yellow. Only the gloves should go into red. Then after you've done all that, please wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water. In fact, all the way until your elbow. Then you can also sanitize your phone, your iCard, everything. As far as possible, bring only very essential bare minimum items to the hospital so that lesser items to sanitize and lesser possibility of you carrying infection through any of your fomites and infecting your family. Okay, so all these things can of course be a fomite, and you can also clean and sanitize your specs, everything. And later on, wash your hands again and then you can leave. While before reaching home, ensure you call up your house, you can ask them to keep the door open. If possible, avoid touching the doorknob, your doorbell. Just go to your house. First, all these basic things, ID and your specs and your phone, possibly have a designated specific area for yourself in your house to keep these things so that they don't mingle with other items, so that you know where to find them also and you don't have to disinfect a lot of more things. Then after that, you can, first thing you need to do is preferably take a bath, and after that you can hang out with your family. Along with that, of course, eat healthy, be healthy. Okay, so and ensure that all your clothes or uniforms that you've been wearing in the hospital have been put for wash. So this is a list of PP requirement that should be that is provided to all our staff in Shankara based on their work profile. So this list is available with all the unit leaders as well as in charges. So you are definitely being provided all this based on this list. So that's okay. Lastly, PP alone is not going to keep you safe. What you really need to understand is a few basic concepts. First and foremost, avoid touching anything or touching anyone as far as possible. Secondly, in case you touch anything or anyone, ensure that you sanitize your hands. Thirdly, despite these earlier two practices, ensure that you don't touch your eyes, your nose, your face unnecessarily, as a habit or just like that. And lastly, social distancing and mask. So if you follow these few principles, you can definitely be safe. Thank you.